go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
I'm Steve.
Great. So, Steve, how long have you been a patient with Dr. Lipinski at Advanced Spinal Care?
Close to 6 years.
6 years. Okay. So, what brought you into Advanced Spinal Care?
I'm in construction, and I have had I used to have an ache just above the belt line,
Okay.
and I always felt that, this is part of the job. It's something I got to live with.
Wow.
I went to several chiropractors and got the heavy adjustment and back cracking type of thing, and a lot of times I'd walk out of the office crying because my back hurt more afterwards than, but that was the system
Right.
that I thought there was.
Yeah. So, how did you hear about NUCCA?
A friend of mine was telling me that he was coming here and that he was getting some really good results and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and try another one.
Yeah.
Because that's how I tried all of them, is through friends
Yeah.
and see if this one helps.
Okay. So, was this different from your other experiences?
Yes, it was. As far as just what happens inside the room,
Yeah.
there's measuring where all of a sudden you're being able to measure both sides of the body, which was very new to me. And I found out that I was like 24 pounds on one side than the other. So
Wow.
no wonder why I had, since I was carrying that weight like that, that's where the pain was coming.
No kidding.
In the small of my back. And then there's ways where he can see whether or not you're standing up straight and all of that. There wasn't the typical, here I'm practicing to be a wrestler, let me give you a crack.
Yeah.
And I like that. But and there was pictures taken, x-rays of the neck and all, so that
Okay.
you could see what was going on. And I remember on that first initial talk through the x-rays that my neck was really not going in the right direction that it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, okay, we'll go ahead and get a correction. And when that happened, it was such a slight movement of the hand. I walked out wondering, did anything really happen?
Yeah.
But I did that. I kept coming in for 2 years, and towards the end of the 2 years, I was in the car with my wife. We had just gotten off the freeway, and I was sitting in the driver's seat, twisted, looking at traffic coming, and the person behind me hit us at about 35 miles an hour.
Oh, no.
It didn't do a lot of damage to the car or anything, but within about 15 minutes, the pain that had left me in the lower part of my back was right back.
Wow.
And the following day, I was able to come in, make an appointment, come in. We went through x-rays again. We went through the measuring. I was found to be 23 pounds over on one side. And my previous visit, I was only about a pound off.
Wow.
Which seems to kind of be a norm for me, I think.
Yeah.
And once the x-rays were available for me to look at again, I remember telling Dr. Craig, hey, I want to see those. I hope you have the old ones. And he goes, I do. And you could actually see that the neck was moving in the proper
Wow.
direction. So what I thought wasn't doing anything really was doing a lot more.
Wow.
Inside. And one thing I liked is it wasn't hurting me.
Yes.
When I get the correction and
Right.
everything like that. There was no pain
Right.
to anything. And in the last 6 years, I don't get corrected a whole lot because my body's learned to keep me in line.
That's great.
And I'm actually doing the same amount of work. The only difference is I'm now 60 years old.
Wow.
And other than just being tired from the physical
Right.
part of the work, I don't have the body pain.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you're probably working, what, 8 to 12-hour days sometimes, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I
when you're
have
doing
my
construction.
own small business, so I put an average of 10 hours a day in the physical work, and then I'm off after that doing bids and
Right.
paperwork and
So
and
you
stuff
have
like
full
that.
days. Would you be able to work those types of days and the type of pain that you were in before you started coming in?
I don't think so,
Yeah.
because as much as I don't like to admit that I do get a lot more tired, and it takes, a younger man springs back quicker,
Yeah.
but I am being able to be out there,
Right.
and I'm moving all the time, and I'm being able to do that, and I'm not in pain all the time as I was when I was a younger man, and so I feel there's a huge benefit because
That's
of that.
so great. Well, I'm so glad for you that that's happened and you're able to function and have the quality of life that you've really needed to have for your business and for your family and all of that. If you had friends that were looking at this and they were thinking about trying it, what would you tell them to try to get them in here?
Oh, I would tell them, don't talk to me about chiropractors. I've already been down that road.
Yeah.
And I have already, I was the first one in my family to come here. And my parents come here, and I have an older brother that comes here, and one of my youngest brother comes here. So
Awesome.
I have 2 other brothers to work on, but
Yep.
eventually
We'll get them in here.
we will. I mean, everybody has benefited
Yeah.
from it that
Yeah.
I personally know, and
Yeah.
and that makes me feel good when you can suggest something for other people,
Yeah.
and you can see the benefits that they get from it, and then you hear from them the
Right.
benefits, and I was a small part of it by
Right.
just referring them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Impacting the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing your story. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Yeah.